The Syrian army, supported by the Russian Air Force, Hezbollah fighters, and Al-Quds Brigade, they are Palestinian volunteers. They have been fighting to liberate these neighborhoods of Aleppo for more than 4 years. Okay? But their attempts have been without success during these 4 years. In June 2012, when these Turkish-backed militants, they stormed the eastern parts of Aleppo, there was a widespread belief in Aleppo that the Syrian army would recapture these neighborhoods in a short period of time. However, the consistent support by Turkey, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia complicated the military equation, especially after stationing of these militants in civilian neighborhoods. They came and they put their barracks or their positions inside civilian neighborhoods. These Islamist militants, why they wanted to come and live inside civilian neighborhoods? They were not so dumb, you know. The people who were behind these people, these militants, they told them to go and stay inside the civilian neighborhoods because they wanted to create an international public opinion in order to put pressure on Syria's allies, particularly Russia, and force it to refrain from using a veto in the UN Security Council meetings regarding the resolutions that the United States, France, they were proposing to intervene in Syria under different pretexts, responsibility to protect, humanitarian intervention, just like they did in Libya. So you station inside the civilian neighborhood and you shoot tens of rockets per day, and if the army retaliates against you, of course there will be civilian casualties there. So these people, they record the civilians who are dead and they sell it on to Al Jazeera, to Arabiya, to CNN, to many other news outlets in order to put media pressure on Russia, on Syria, on Iran. So during this time, West Aleppo was under siege and suffered from food, water, and electricity shortage, which I'm going to explain later on. I believe it was in September 2016, the Syrian army turned the table upside down against these militants in East Aleppo that was occupied by Al-Nusra Front, which even the Pentagon said East Aleppo is occupied by Al-Nusra Front, which is Al-Qaeda's franchise in Syria, and Al-Nusra is on the UN's terrorist list. So they don't want us to liberate our neighborhoods occupied by Al-Qaeda. Now, prior to the Syrian army operations, the Syrian army had dropped leaflets and sent SMS messages asking the civilian population in East Aleppo to evacuate the area and to take refuge in West Aleppo. The majority already left, but those who were left in East Aleppo, some people tried to escape, some succeeded, some others were sniped. They got sniper shots from their backs while they were trying to escape to West Aleppo. So the government opened 7 humanitarian corridors, and many escaped via these corridors, risking their lives to do so. Now, the terrorists, of course, they tried to prevent them because they will lose this humanitarian shield that they were using for 4 years in Aleppo. On the other hand, the East Aleppo terrorists, they have intensified their shelling on West Aleppo in order to foil this operation to liberate the city. Now, the vast majority of the civilians in West Aleppo and East Aleppo, and the majority are Sunni Muslims, this is everybody should know, they were in favor of liberating their city from the Islamists who took them as human shield during this 4-year war. Now, the food crisis is very, very important. As you can see in the picture, when these militants occupied eastern Aleppo, they imposed siege on West Aleppo on the majority of the Aleppis in Aleppo, which was called Bustan al-Kasab. And in this picture, as you can see, it's written here by them, by these militants, it is not allowed to transport or move or take with you bread, meat, vegetables, milk, even baby needs. You're not allowed. If you have this with you, they will take it from you, and you are not allowed to feed your own family. Now, there is a funny thing here. Look at this picture. These were the buses that have been used by the militants to separate east from west. They were used to starve the people of Aleppo. Now look at this picture here. Where is this picture? It's in Dresden, in Germany. The same buses that have been used to starve the Aleppi people are now statues in Dresden in honor of the victims of the genocide that Assad committed, according to the Western mainstream media. And the mayor of Dresden, he celebrated this. They are openly supporting people, terrorists, who starved and killed the Aleppi people.